Have you ever met someone who felt almost too perfect, as if the universe itself had aligned for that meeting? The chemistry was instant, the energy electric, the connection effortless. But what if that wasn't fate? What if it was strategy? Because when a narcissistic woman meets you, she doesn't see you, she studies you. Within the first 24 hours, she begins constructing an illusion, so convincing it feels like love. But it's actually control wrapped in charm. This isn't about romance, it's about psychological warfare disguised as affection. Every word, every glance, every shared moment is a calculated step in a silent game. One designed to make you surrender your sense of self before you even realize it's happening. Most people never see it until it's too late. But once you understand what truly happens, in those first 24 hours, you'll never look at constant chemistry the same way again. Because what feels like destiny might just be the beginning of your disillusionment. When a narcissistic woman first meets you, her mind doesn't register attraction the way yours might. It registers opportunity. Within moments, she begins what psychologists call mirroring. It's not empathy, it's strategy. She watches how you speak, how you move, what excites you, what makes you laugh. Then, like a psychological chameleon, she reflects those traits back at you. Suddenly, she likes the same music, shares your worldview, even uses your words. It feels magnetic, almost cosmic. But that's exactly the illusion she wants you to feel. You're not meeting her authentic self. You're meeting your own reflection projected back through her. And that's why it feels so safe, so familiar, so real. She's crafting an emotional mirror that makes you believe you've found understanding, when in truth, she's just collecting data. Each reaction you show becomes another thread she can pull later to manipulate your emotions. It's a fascinating psychological play, the fusion of charm and analysis. But remember this, genuine connection doesn't demand perfect reflection. It invites honest difference. If someone feels too perfect, too in sync, too soon, pause. Sometimes what feels like chemistry is actually control in disguise. Once the mirror has done its work, she shifts into what can only be described as the charm offensive. This is where the illusion deepens. Her words feel warm, her laughter effortless, her attention unwavering. You feel seen in a way that almost defies logic, as if she's unlocking something dormant within you. But this isn't connection, it's choreography. Every compliment, every glance, every perfectly timed silence is designed to make you lower your guard. Psychologically, this stage triggers a dopamine rush, the same chemical response tied to reward and validation. She becomes the source of that high, and before long, you start to crave it. This is how control begins, not through force, but through emotional intoxication. You start interpreting her attention as affection, when in reality, it's an investment, not in you, but in her ability to dominate your perception of her. Carl Jung once said that those who look outside dream, but those who look inside awaken. The charm of a narcissist keeps you looking outward, hypnotized by their glow. The antidote is awareness. The moment you stop chasing the illusion and start observing the pattern, that's when you take your power back. After the charm has disarmed you, the testing begins. It's subtle, almost invisible at first, a teasing comment, a light interruption, a playful jab that crosses a small boundary. She's not being careless, she's measuring you. Every tiny breach of respect is an experiment to see how much space she can take before you push back. If you laugh it off or stay silent, she registers that silence as permission. And that's when the power dynamic quietly shifts. This is the psychology of dominance dressed in affection. She's gouging not your affection, but your tolerance. How much discomfort can she introduce without losing your approval? Narcissists are masters at disguising control as connection, and these small moments are their laboratory. You'll often sense something's off, a strange unease beneath the charm. But dismiss it, because you're still under the spell of her early warmth. Carl Jung believed that the shadow reveals itself in the smallest gestures. These early tests are the shadow. They show you who she truly is before the mask slips completely. The lesson is simple but profound. Never ignore the small discomforts. What begins as a minor boundary test often ends as a complete loss of self. Once she knows your boundaries, she moves into the most calculated phase, emotional mapping. This is where the mask of warmth takes on a new purpose. She'll ask deep, almost soulful questions, not to know you, but to study you. She listens intently as you reveal your fears, your regrets, the stories that shaped you. Every detail becomes data. Every confession, a future weapon. What feels like emotional intimacy is, in truth, reconnaissance. Psychologically, narcissists are driven by the need to dominate emotional terrain. They don't just want your admiration. They want access to your inner world, because that's where influence lives. Once she learns what triggers your insecurity or guilt, she gains the ability to control how you feel, when you feel it, and why. It's not about empathy, it's about leverage. Jung often said that people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. And that's what she's doing, studying yours so she never has to confront hers. The only way to disarm this pattern is through awareness. Guard your story. Not every listener deserves your truth. Some are only listening to learn how to rewrite it against you. By this stage, she's no longer focused solely on you. She's focused on how this world perceives her through you. This is the phase of image crafting and social positioning. She begins to weave a public narrative where she appears flawless, charming, and desirable. She'll compliment you in front of others, post curated moments online, or casually mention how amazing your connection is. But beneath that surface lies strategy. Every move is designed to establish social credibility and secure emotional territory. She wants others to see her as the perfect partner, not because she values authenticity, but because reputation is power. The narcissistic mind thrives on perception. It feeds on validation like oxygen, by shaping how people view her, and by extension, you. She tightens her psychological hold. You start to feel proud of being chosen, unaware that you're being positioned as a supporting role in her carefully constructed image. Jung once wrote that the persona is a mask that simulates individuality while concealing the self. That's exactly what's happening here. You're falling for the mask. The deeper truth is this: if someone needs an audience to love you, it was never love. It was performance from the start. As the first day draws to a close, she unveils the final act. The future, fake hook. This is where illusion becomes intimacy. She begins speaking in terms of is, painting vivid pictures of what your shared future might look like. It's intoxicating because it feels like destiny unfolding in real time. But it's not vision, it's manipulation. These promises are crafted not to bond, but to bind. They make you emotionally invest before you've had time to truly perceive who she is beneath the performance. Psychologically, this tactic activates hope, a deeply human drive that blinds us to red flags. Hope is powerful. It convinces us that connection equals meaning, and meaning equals safety. But in the hands of a narcissist, hope becomes a leash. Each word of affection, each imagined future, tightens that hold a little more. Carl Jung once suggested that projection is the meeting point between illusion and truth. In this moment, you're not falling for her. You're falling for your own reflection of what you want her to be. The awakening begins when you stop chasing potential and start observing reality. Because real love doesn't rush, it reveals. Always remember that.